Hey everyone, it's Roota Mittal here. Welcome back to this lecture. Today I'm going to be talking about team building, which is how to hire and scale your team and create a real agency. And remember, guys, when you want to grow a real business, a real agency, it takes a lot of work and it also takes a lot of people. And today I'm going to share how you can do that. And at the end, I'm going to share a bonus hack of using a project management tool for client projects. So stay tuned till the end for that. So hiring process for me, this is what it looks like. The number one thing I do is first I create a roles and responsibility document for clarity. Whoever you are hiring for, first you need to be clear about what their role commands, like what are they supposed to do, what are the tasks that they will be doing on a daily basis, what are the responsibilities that they will be doing, are they managing people, are they just like an independent contributor and they'll be working on the task themselves without managing anyone else. So like make sure that you do step one, because otherwise what happens is you need to send these lists to the people that you will be interviewing and things like that. So they have to be clear what is expected of them. Sometimes what happens is the biggest problem that comes up in hiring is the hirer itself is not clear on what role and responsibilities they are looking for, and then it causes a lot of confusion. If you don't have clarity, how are you going to hire the right person? And if the person doesn't know what their real roles and responsibilities are, if they don't know what is it that they are supposed to do, like what happens if, like how do they know if they're doing great at their job or not? That is proven by the roles and responsibilities document. So you have to set and you have to set expectations before you even hire someone. So make sure you do that. I'm going to show you an example of this in a bit. Step 2 is gather info via an email interview. So I like to do a first an email interview rather than like hopping on a call with everyone. Especially this helps me shortlist people. So like I will send them a list of questions and then they reply back to me, just so I can like shortlist people quickly. Like if they answer the questions in a way which I know is a huge red flag for me, then I know that, oh, this doesn't even need my an actual interview from my side, and I just reject them. So I'll also share an example about this in a bit. So I love this process because I've honestly used this process for hiring all of my freelancers and employees, and so I'm excited to share that with you. The step 3 is get a task done to test their abilities. For example, if you're hiring for a copywriter, have them write an ad copy as a part of the interview process. Or if you're hiring a designer, have them create a Facebook page cover. Give them a set of instructions, see how well they follow the instructions. You can actually check their work in this case, and also how well they actually follow the instructions you've sent them. For example, with Facebook page cover, I say use this photo of mine, use this colors and fonts out of my branding board, make sure that you do this, make sure you don't do that. So like I give 4 or 5 instructions, and I then see very carefully what they did with those instructions. Did they implement or not? And yeah, the third thing, like for video editing trial, you can have them like edit a video, minor 2-3 minute video, and see how they do. So test their attention to detail and ability to follow instructions on top of the work quality that they submit. Step 4, you can do like if they pass the step 2 and 3, then you can go to step 4 and do a 30-minute interview to get a feel of their personality, and you can ask any additional questions you might have. So I like to do video interviews because I want to see them. I don't do face-to-face because like my entire business is online. But if you're hiring for like an actual office job, then you can definitely do face-to-face interviews. The process will still be the same. The step 4 would be done face-to-face rather than on Zoom. I like to do it on a Zoom video interview because I want to see them. I want to see how they talk, their personality, and I want to ask any additional questions that I might have on top of the email interviews. Like if I wanted an extra information about something they said in the email interview, then I ask them. At the end, this is so important. At the end, I also ask them a chance to ask me questions. So you can also do the same, because you want to ensure that they are the right fit, and in their mind you also should be the right fit, because like it's a two-way process. You want both parties to win over here. So at the end, discuss with them, are there any objections, or are there like any questions that they might have on top of what we have already discussed, and things like that. If needed, I also do a second interview, like, because if I'm not sure, for example, if I have 3 4 such interviews on step 4, like I do these 3 4 interviews, so obviously I'm not sure until I interview all of them, right? So then what I'll do is I'll just say that I'll let you know, and I'll let you know if I need another interview after this. So you can decide this. And remember, guys, like at the start, this might feel scary and overwhelming, but as with everything, like how you started your journey as a freelancer, and now look at you all ready to hire a team. This will also seem overwhelming at the start, but you'll become a pro in this slowly and steadily. So, yeah, do an additional interview after this step if you need to. That is totally on you. And the last step would be that if they are a fit, then you explain them again the roles and responsibilities that they'll be taking on. You can add a contract for like freelancers and stuff. You definitely need a contract just so you know what is expected. Like, are you hiring them for 3 months? What is the payment schedule, and what are the actual prices you'll be paying them. I also make my employees sign an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, which means that whatever happens in the company stays in the company. They cannot talk to each other, not really talk to each other, but they cannot talk about the company to other people outside of the company, because we deal with clients and we want our clients' information to be protected. Like, they cannot go out and write social media posts that, oh, we helped this client do this and that, or whatever, because clients need to feel safe with us as an agency. And I also need to feel safe. Like, whatever happens inside needs to stay inside. I don't want people sharing our secrets, or like going to competitors and doing nasty things and all. Obviously, you should take care of what their vibe is, and you should obviously actually trust your employees and stuff before hiring them, and you do all your due diligence and you listen to your intuition before hiring. But this is still, I still make them sign an NDA. I trust all of my team members, but I still have them sign an NDA, just because like they know what should be expected. They know that they are not supposed to talk about things outside of the company. Sometimes people do things because they don't know, so we don't even like allow that to happen. We just have them sign an NDA, and we tell them that if there are any questions, then they can ask. And contract is needed. For actually full-time employees, we don't do contracts. We just send them an offer letter and kind of like what their compensation package would be. So that is also what you can do. You can find, for contracts and NDA, you can easily find a lot of templates on Google. So I'm not going to include that here, because like for your particular agency, your needs might be different. And so just search like NDA is like a 1 to 2 page document, and contract actually I've already shared in the in the previous ones. The one you send to clients, similar one you can actually create for your freelancers. So this is the overall hiring process. Now let me share an example of the roles and responsibility document. So this is the one I actually use for my project management role hiring. And important conditions, I always have like non-negotiable important conditions that they need to follow. Needs to be India based, because our team is in India. So if they are elsewhere, then they are not really online when we are online. So it's very difficult for a project manager to be out of the team's time zone. So for me, this was important in this case. Work would be around 10 hours a month. I also define the work. Needs to be available during the morning time, because we do our team calls, daily huddles every single day. And so 10 to 12 p.m. for calls and following up with the team. That means that anyone who is doing any other job full time is anyways not right, because they won't be available for 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. like the first 2 hours of the day. Needs to have good internet and a laptop. Needs to be polite, good management abilities, and a fun person to work with. Needs to be great at people management, because the project manager's role is to actually work with people, make sure that they are doing their job right. So it has to be like, you cannot hire a person which like are not good at people management. Responsibilities, here come the important tasks: creating proposals for prospects and sending it over. So like for clients that we work with, like once I would teach them how to create proposals, they will be handling them going forward. Like for our consulting, done for you, whatever, they can do the proposals and manage that part of the process. Procuring assets from the clients and providing it to the team. So like they are the one who talk to the clients, and they are the ones who will give the things needed to the right team member, because you as a leader of the agency cannot be a middleman doing all of these things in asset management. As a sole freelancer, you obviously were doing all of these things, but what I'm teaching you is to let go of certain things and hire the right people for your team, so you can focus on the big thing, big picture, big vision stuff for yourself, which is like, what do I want to do? Do I want to grow my company to $500,000 next year? So then you solve that problem and give the day-to-day management to the rest of the team. Obviously, you train them. Training is so important for every team member. You train them, you teach them, you give them feedback of how they can do better and things like that. But yeah, the next thing would be creating task boards for the team, managing team deadlines, see if tasks are done by the team and are up to par. Basically, they also quality check the stuff we do before they send it to clients. See if my ad reports, so like we also do ad reports for clients, so we have one more person look at them. Weekly stand-ups with the entire team, they lead it, like they tell the team what the team is supposed to do for the week. Monthly goals and achievement review, quarterly goals and achievement review, calendar management for Roota, and approving rejected prospect applications. Sometimes some people are just not right for us, so then we like a project manager goes through those applications and then sends them the right meeting link for if the applications are approved. So these are the overall roles. Can you see how micro I went, like from everything? So this is also what you need to do. You need to be micro over here. You cannot just put on vague generic stuff. Tell them exactly what they'll be doing. So like before working with you, they know what things they can expect. Because if you change things later on when you hire them, they'll be like, but I wasn't hired for this role, I wasn't hired for these kind of tasks and things like that. So you have to be very, very clear for your own clarity and for the clarity of the person that you're hiring. Now you can create similarly this document for all of the other roles. And yeah, the email interview example. So this is one of my email interview examples. I do this the same format, I just change out things. Like for example, I have about 10 questions. I say, what is your educational and PM experience? How long were you in the PM role? So if I was doing this for a project manager, this is what it looks like. But if I was doing this for an ads manager, obviously I would just change the keywords over here and the rest would remain the same. How would you rate your English and communication skills? How would you rate your politeness? Do you have the patience to deal with people? Why would you like to work for me? How many hours do you have to spare per week? Do you have stable internet and what is their speed? What would you charge for 10 hours a month of PM work? Are you working anywhere else currently? If so, how you will be managing our project? I just want to know where they are workload wise. What tools and processes are you familiar with? So as you can see, then at the end, I tell them if everything looks good, the next step would be a 30-minute call. And then I also attach this thing. This thing I also attach on this email, because as you can see, I said, here's more info about roles and responsibility. Please see the document attached. So this is the document I attach. So they are very, very clear before they even answer this interview, email interview. So as you can see, these 10 questions overall give me a good enough idea of who they are, what do they do, and are they meeting my conditions, so I can proceed for an interview. So like that's also what you can model on.